Howdy folks. This morning's shave, at least morning for me on a Saturday morning, this is a Yulay soap. It's called Knights Passion. The scent profile will be patterned somewhat similar to Dakar. I think that's how you pronounce it. That's what it looks like on the inside. You can see I've already been in it a few times. And it's very soft soap. Probably pretty close to a crope. And the way it feels, it's very creamy. It's very creamy. Really like this soap. Alum block complete with rubber band. Got Thayer's Witch Hazel with aloe. I'm going to follow the shave up with matching aftershave from Yulay, Monica's. And I got it whipped up here with a horsehair brush. And this is what it looks like inside the Distinctive Goats shaving bowl here. And this one here is walnut. Got another one that's walnut and cherry. And this one here also has grooves in it. And this whipped it up on the wet side, and it is, you just have to trust me, it's very creamy. This is really like soap like this. Whips up more like a cream. Pretty cool. The shaver of the day. I have mentioned it from time or two. Depends on how many times you watch my videos. And this is a Schick Injector. And you can see this is the E model, if you will. Get my finger out of the way so you can see that. That little flap right there, if you can see that, it's on the other side too. That's how you can tell the difference between the E's and G's. And the plus the lines, sometimes you can tell on versions the lines that are going across the safety bar right here. But this one here, if you can tell, it is not in the best of shape. And yes, this was one of my inexpensive shavers that I picked up for $7 at an antique store. So it doesn't have to be real expensive in order to get started shaving with a single edge, double edge. There's a number of, I guess you might say, decent shavers out there that are inexpensive. They may not look the best, but they shave just fine. Excuse me. So thought I'd use that one today. It's been sitting over here in a shaving mug, and been an Old Spice one at that. Been waiting for me to use it again. I enjoy the Schick Injectors. They're excuse me, they pre-shave. They come in different models. Some of them will look very similar. And they will vary in price greatly, because some excuse me, some are harder to find than others. It's one of the reasons why I think that one there is $7, because those that look like that, there's hordes of them out there. You just have to decide on which one you want to get. It is a lightweight shaver, so if you're looking at for something that doesn't weigh a whole lot, doesn't cost a whole lot to try out. Like I said, you can get the blades from Pella, I think is how you pronounce it. Just over $4. I think it's $4.10, $4.20 for 20 blades. That's pretty inexpensive. That is pretty inexpensive. That's cheap. But it is an inexpensive way to get started in a single edge shave. Now, like I said, I got this one here in an antique store, so I guess you might say the thrill of the hunt. But if you're in an area where these sort of things don't happen very often, and trust me, that was a rare find around here. You don't see very many shavers in an antique store where I'm at. But if you're diligent enough and patient enough, you'll find some, you know, like I said, right around the $10 mark, you know, on eBay. Etsy's another good place to go hunt for one. There is another one. I'm trying to remember what the name of it is that I found a while back. Wanted to say Pango? Pango, I think is how it's spelled. Only been there but twice, I think. And just by happenstance, I was looking for, I think how you pronounce, you know, the Muhle, M-U-H-L-E. Anyhow, is an R89 twist. And that handle, besides it being a two-piece model, that handle is longer. And I thought it'd be worth giving it a try. It's a very nice shaver. If you haven't heard me say before, I get a lot of my stuff, you know, on sale. Sometimes you can't do that. Some items, you know, you end up having to pay full price if you're wanting it. At least anytime soon. But when it comes to the vintage shavers, you can usually find one that may not look all that great but still shave just fine. If you watched an episode with Matt and Douglas on one of their videos, they were talking about these Schick injectors, ones like this, and you can take it and shake it, and if it rattles, then you know that it's this bottom part right here might be a little bit loose. And Matt had mentioned, you know, how you can make an adjustment to tighten that up, if you will. Kind of have to be you know, got to be careful with it, but you know, it can be done. And this one here didn't rattle at all. So, like I said, it's just one of those things. If you're interested, you know, be patient. Don't get in too big of a hurry, because it'll take a moment if you're looking for the inexpensive one and get you might say, get a great find. Every once in a while on Etsy, you'll find somebody that's looking to move some products a little market down. So I guess you might say you do spend a lot of time on the computer hunting and, you know, paying close attention to your sweet spots where you know they're at, and just waiting for the price to drop to something that's more in your range that you're wanting to pay. Because that took me a good long while. PAA Injector Adjustable, as well as the Schick, I had to wait a good long while before I finally got one in my price range, and then on eBay actually win the bid. You may have heard me mention it before. You might want to use strategy when it comes to eBay. In other words, around the holidays seem for me work rather well. People are too busy, and I'm a early riser most of the time. So in other words, I usually am up and around right around the 4 or 5 o'clock time frame, even on the weekends. So while most people are sleeping, that's when I do my searches, my hunting, if you will. Yeah, I usually get it done pretty quick then. It's kind of like if you've ever seen the e-shaver, and I've got one of the Segal, S-E-G-A-L. It may be referred to as a unitary razor, where you twist the knob at the bottom and the cap comes up. Yeah, you hunt long enough, you'll find one at a decent price and not too bad a shape. You will have to modify that DE blade, but Douglas and Matt's got an episode on that also. Yeah, it's a fine shaver too. Because you just take a modern DE blade and you customize the center of it where it fits. It's a nice shaver. It's too bad that they didn't make stay in production longer, I guess you might say. One of these days when which is going to be a while off, I imagine, it'd be nice to be able to take one of those and send it to Razor Emporium and see if they can make it look a lot better. Because most of them, you know, there's a little bit of plating loss on the cap. The cap is usually where you see it at. But it'd be nice to get it get one all prettied up. Because it's a nice shaver. I really enjoyed shaving with it. It's not the mildest shaver, in case you might call it on the bottom end of a medium maybe, but works well enough that you can shave with it every day. It's just that came out in the 30s and that's such a nice shaver. Of course, like I mentioned before, it'd be interesting to know back then what a new blade felt like that hadn't been sitting around for the past 50 years. I may mention this from time to time, but stretching, for me, stretching it's usually the against the green pass. That's where I do most of my stretching. Definitely pay more attention to it. When I'm shaving with a single edge or a DE. It's a pretty nice shave. It's going to be a close one too. Yep, I think that just about wraps it up. It's a good shaver. Just depends. I think some consider the E and the G version different aggressiveness. It probably is different. I just don't really notice it that much. I probably have to shave one day with one and the next day with the other one to get a really good feel for how much different they are. I like both of them. It kind of defaults there. I like them. It doesn't really matter to me too much if it's mild or aggressive. R41, I really enjoy that shaver. Very efficient. I can get smooth, comfortable shaves with it. I guess you might call it effortless. Just really nice. But I understand if it's not for you. Different beard types, what your skin is like. I spent many years working outside, so my face has been used to a little bit of abuse being outside so much. But it does have its spots where it doesn't like much friction. As well as it does have a tendency to turn red without shaving. I know when I first started making videos, I'd get a comment every once in a while about how red my face is, and it just does that naturally. Then after a while it'll calm down. It doesn't feel uncomfortable. Don't really notice it. I mean, they could be part way through the day and my face will turn red. And my blood pressure is in check, so we know it's not that. Yeah, this is pretty good shape. I don't think I got any weepers right down there stinging a while ago, and don't see anything. Every once in a while, it'll happen on my neck, but excuse me, I try to pay close attention to those areas. That's one spot there. I hadn't had any there in a good long while. Earlier this week, it was over here. Once again, excuse me, boy, I got that frog, can't get rid of it. Horsehair. It's one of my first or second brushes. I think this was the first one, horsehair brush that I got. Really nice. And the scent, the soap is just, really like it. It's good for a Saturday morning. Shaver. Schick Injector. And there it is. It's, like I say, it's pretty lightweight. It's in outside, you know, the coating up here, this is pretty nice shape. Handle doesn't look to be too terribly scratched up. I mean, it's got some wear on it, but just, you have to really look for it. Here's the aftershave. And as most, if not all, of Monica's aftershaves, you'll need to shake them up. And this has got witch hazel in it, and it does not have alcohol in it. So if you prefer an aftershave that doesn't have alcohol, she's a good one to go see. Monica Van Yulay. The aftershaves usually run right around the $10 mark. Sometimes you'll, if you keep up with her on Facebook, you can catch her stuff on sale from time to time. She'll run a short sale where you can get the soap and aftershave for right at the $20 mark. That's a hard deal to beat. This is such a great scent. Had a really nice shave today. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.